Good afternoon, North Carolina Picker here. Or should it be, hey, good afternoon, North Carolina Picker here? Or maybe, I think I'm the picker. It's time for me show to show. Or maybe it's just like, hey, everybody, it's Sunday. North Carolina Vinyl Pickers here. Finally. Yep, Sunday. Time for the show. Didn't get to it last night, but I got to it today. So that's a good thing. I got to do my updated top 12 grails. I'm going to show you a couple that I picked up this week. We're going to go through some weekly finds. And I got 5 things I have to ask myself. That's where we're going to start the show off today. And you're going to say, North Carolina Vinyl Picker, what are your 5 things? Well, my 5 things are, number 1, is record buying addictive? I'd say yes. We'll put a yes in that check mark. Let's put a yes there. So there's one. There's one for me. Right down below there if you think it's addictive. Old Goat or Dan, Tony, right down at the bottom there. Let me know if you think this hobby is addictive. Do people just buy records and put them up and not listen to them? They just catalog them? Is it a hobby to collect them and not play them, or is it for the music? That wasn't one of my questions. That was a little add-on. I'd say you buy them to listen to them, but sometimes you buy them and put them up and then get to them later. So that's a possibility. Number 2, coming in hot. Number 2, who's getting the big box for May? Well, let's see, who got the big box last month was a man that lives over in Tennessee. He got the big box last month. This month, I know who's getting the big box. We'll see who gets it. It's going out tomorrow or Tuesday, and it may be at your door. And if it's not at your door this week, maybe you'll be getting it next month, because there's going to be a total of 5 big boxes. One's already gone out. This is the second one. And then there'll be 3 more for June, July, and August. So you too can receive a big box from the North Carolina Vinyl Picker. Number 3. Are antique malls better than charity shops? I would answer that question, and I would say that sometimes they are. And sometimes antique malls are a little pricey. You go in there and there's 60, 70 booths, and there's a antique. There's a antique mall that is 70,000 square feet. I'm trying to get my wife to go to with me. You imagine how many records are over there? You might need a scooter to walk around in that place to get around. Charity shops, usually they're cheap. You can pick up records for 50 cents to $1. Problem is, it may not be something you want. It might be Peter Nero. It might be, all the usual suspects are going to be in there. Laura Nero and Lawrence Welk and all those peoples. So you don't really have much to choose from if you're going to give up your 50 cents or $1. You're going to pick up that kind of stuff. I was lucky I found Sean Phillips. We'll talk more about him later. I think he's a very underrated 12-string guitar player who's got some awesome albums that you can find in the charity shops. Antique malls are going to have a bigger variety, but they're going to want anywhere between $5 and $100 for a record. Number 4. 3 hidden gems in the charity shops. Well, I would say that in the charity shops, like the Goodwills and the Habitat for Humanity, and those shops, you're going to find Windham Hill records. Those are always good. There's a ton of great artists on Windham Hill. You're going to find Sean Phillips. He's awesome. And you can find his records there and promos. I was in a charity shop here, about a couple days ago, and he had a ton of promos in there. Looked like it got them from like an old, like a DJ or somebody that said, loan for permission, whatever. And a lot of times you'll find them in there for 50 cents. And then you can pick up maybe one from your favorite band from the 70s or the 80s that had promos. Sometimes they probably went to the record store, a record cheers. Sometimes they went to the radio stations. Number 5. Do you shop local and support mom and pop shops, i.e. Food and or records? Or do you like to shop in the big chain places like Amazon and Walmart? And do you eat your food at Outback and Longhorn and Carrabba's and all those kind of places? Or do you go to mom and pop restaurants where you pay a lot less for your food, and the food's going to be hot and fresh, and it's going to be different wherever mom and pop place you go to, because it's not a signature dish from one of those high dollar restaurants. So those are my 5 questions for today. Put your answers down in the front. If you like my show, just ring the bell and sub me up. So here we go with the finds of the day. Well, I did pretty good this week. I found some good stuff. And we're 7 minutes into it. Let's see if we can run through this stuff. How about Linda Ronstadt? How Do I Make You? It's from her album Mad Love. And I have a copy of this, but I didn't have the sleeve. So I ran across this for $1. And that was nice to find this in a store the last couple days. And I found a whole stack of 45s, some older titles here. Marvin Gaye, What's Going On? Linda Martell, A Little Tear. It's gonna be, I don't know a lot of who these artists are. That's It, I Quit, I'm Moving On. Sam Cooke. Bip Bop Vinyl. He would know some of these probably. Sam Cooke, Sad Mood. And on the other side is Love Me. Not sure what side was the hit. Herbert Hunter, Dr. Feelgood. I don't know if that's the Dr. Feelgood that they redid later on with one of those hair bands. The Twistin' Party. These were all 50 cents, I think. Love You Inside and Out, the Bee Gees. Now that one I know. That's the one. That one in the so far as it was out of this. How about Leroy Jones, the Peppermint Twist? And on the back is Tough. I looked all these up in Discogs. They really, none of them are worth much. Brooke Benton, 2 Tickets to Paradise. Now, was that the same 2 Tickets to Paradise that Eddie Money did? I don't know. And Don't Hate Me. So these were cool looking, and they were only 50 cents. How about Don Shirley? The Toenail Expressions, or Tonal. I thought it was Toenail. This was pretty cool. Anybody out there knows anything about this, let me know in the comments down below. I think he was a jazz person. I didn't want to leave them because they just looked cool. They were all together. Clyde McFadder. Maybe, and I Do Believe. Oh, this one here I know. Bay City Rollers. What was their hit on here? Saturday Night. Yeah, this is a. What's the B side here? Marlena. Oh, there you go. Bay City Rollers. These will be used for VCLT. That whole stack, except for the Linda Ronstadt and the Bee Gees. Those will be going out for VCLT at some point. And speaking of VCLT, I picked up another copy of the Buena Vista Social Club. When it rains, it pours, I guess. This is my second or third copy of this. And this is the complete one with the booklet and everything. And the booklet was on one end of the CD rack, and the CD was on the other rack, and then the cardboard thing was stuck in between and around in the back and up through the back, and it was all messed up. So I put it all back together, and I grabbed it. Another copy of the Buena Vista Social Club. This will go out for VCLT. Put down in the comment section if you must have this one. Okay? Thank you. How about Peter Tosh? Roll them up and smoke them. Legalize it. What you gonna do? No sympathy. I believe he was with another great artist that was Jamaican music, Mr. Bob Marley. Was Peter Tosh with Bob Marley? Anyway, this album here is, if you get the vinyl album of this, I heard it's pretty pricey. So I found the CD again. I say again, Rob. The CD was in another thing, and this was in another thing, and then this booklet was in another thing. So I had to put it all together. Luckily, I found everything and put it all back together. And then the cover was cracked, and so I got another plastic cover, and I put that on here, and I stuck the thing in there, and I cut the CD, and I put that in there, and there you go. Peter Tosh. This will probably go out for VCLT. I'm not too big into that. And then CCR, 20 Greatest Hits. This one I'll keep. This one here, the wife likes. She loves the CCR. These were all real nice. These were all from the GW. And then Morrison's Hotel. I'm still looking for this on vinyl. It's on my list of stuff I want. How about Alvin Lee and Mylon LaFere, On the Road to Freedom. Now, I seen this record when I was a kid. I remember seeing this kid. This from 73, 74, but this is a 2003 remix. This is pretty cool to find, especially for 50 cents. There's a lot of people out there that love Alvin Lee. I'll probably end up keeping that one. And how about the Catman? They're going down to Kathmandu. Cat Stevens. I got the vinyl of this, but I didn't have the CD. Now I do. For 50 cents. I wasn't going to pass that one up. And then I didn't have this Simon and Garfunkel classic, Bookends. And it's got, what's got on here? It's got America, which Yes later covered. What else they got? Old Friends, which I think they did on their Central Park show. And Mrs. Robinson's on here from The Graduate. Wow. So it's got some hits on here. So, yeah, it's nice to have this. I think they were at their best when they were together. Paul Simon did better than Art Garfunkel, I believe, as a solo artist. And I like some of Paul Simon's stuff. I like Graceland. And some of his other stuff's okay, like Kodachrome and stuff. But I really like them when they were together. Another band that broke up at their height of their popularity with Bridge Over Troubled Water. And then that must have been the problem that they had was the troubled waters. So they broke up. How about Almost Famous? Now, if you get the album of this one again, it's real expensive. So I found the CD thinking maybe it's worth a little something. But, of course, it wasn't worth anything. And this one has America on here, Simon and Garfunkel, The Sparks. Yes is on here, The Beach Boys, Stillwater, Rod Stewart, Cat Stevens, David Bowie, Nancy Wilson, Elton John, Led Zeppelin, Leonard Skinner, Allman Brothers. Wow, that's one heck of a list of artists there. From the motion picture Almost Famous. Never seen it. How about this one? Roy Orbison and Friends, A Black and White Night. Now, I seen this one in a charity shop, and they wanted $1 for it. And it has all these Gomers on there. It's got Roy Orbison, it's got Bruce Springsteen, it's got Elvis Costello, it's got Tom Waits, and I don't know who else. There's a bunch of people that's on this with Roy. Only the Lonely, and they do Mean Woman Blues, Pretty Woman, a bunch of songs. Blue Bayou. I think Roy wrote that. Linda made it a hit. And how about Marie Brennan, or Moya Brennan, or Mrs. Clenod, or whoever you want to call her this week. She's with the band Clannad, and her sister is Anya, and they're from the Brennan clan from Scotland. Whisper to the Wild Water. If you happen to find her CDs out in the wild, sometimes she goes by Marie Brennan, and sometimes she goes by her Gaelic name, Moya Brennan. And Moya sings in Gaelic sometimes, and sometimes she sings in English. But she's from the band Clannad, and Bono did a song with them that was real popular on one of the Clannad albums. So if you see her out in the wild, pick them up. They're outstanding records. I have them all on CD. I don't know, to find them on vinyl, it'd probably be pretty expensive. Here we go. Hotel California. Found a nice copy for $10. And these are getting rarer and rarer to find out in the wild, the OGs. You can buy them in Walmart, and you can get them at Target, and you can find this album everywhere. But I already listened to it. It sounded great. I had to clean it 3 times, but it sounds good. Hotel California. How about Steve Morris Band? Found this one in a antique mall. I think I paid $5 for it. A great album. Of course, Steve Morris Band. Steve Morris played with Deep Purple, and he was in Kansas for a time. Awesome. And talk about a great guitarist. And Peter Frampton guest stars on this. Eric Johnson sings a vocal on here. Texas Tornado. And then T. Lavitz is on here on piano from the Dixie Dregs. And Steve Morris was in the Dixie Dregs, which I have all their records. I think I'm still missing one. What we got next here? Sean Phillips. If you get a chance and you see his records in the Goodwill or Habitat for Humanity or any of those shops, and they're $1, and the vinyl looks good, pick them up. He's an incredible 12-string guitarist, and has a 4-octave voice. Sounds really nice. I'm just getting turned on to a lot of these bands. Richard Harris played this last night, MacArthur Park. People of a certain generation will know that song, that's for sure. Looks like he's a little stoned over here. But, yeah, Richard Harris, MacArthur Park. Donna Summer made that a hit later on. How about Elton, Rock of the Westies? I didn't have this one. There's a few of these I used to have when I was a kid, and then I don't have the Feel Like a Bullet in the Gun of Robert Ford. That's a great song. And yeah, he's got some really good songs on here. Looking forward to playing this one. Probably play this one tonight. Got quite a few to go through here. Allman Brothers Band, Brothers and Sisters. You know the album, you love it, and it's got Ramblin' Man on it, and Wasted Words, great Greg Allman song. Pick this one up if you get a chance. This album, I had this when I was a kid, and there's another album I used to have, and now I have it again. I didn't think I'd ever find a really nice, clean copy, and I did the other day. I found this record and 2 Babe Ruth albums of the rock band Babe Ruth. I think I picked up 3 three records, and for $10. That was a heck of a deal. This was the first one. Once I get to the other two, I'll show you. Wow, we're already in 20 minutes. Triumvirate, Spartacus. This one's got the hype sticker. I've never seen the hype sticker on this album. And my good buddy from New Jersey sent me a copy of Spartacus. And I had my own copy of Spartacus. So now I own 3 copies of this excellent album from Triumvirate. And I've never seen it with the hype sticker on there, so I had to grab it. And they were like $3 or $5 for these, something like that. And then Linda Ronstadt, Don't Cry Now. I've never seen this with the hype sticker. I already had a copy of this, but that went in the pile for my VCLT. So whenever I get an upgrade or find a record that I want better than another copy, I put it in the VCLT. And then when it comes time for me to send out the big box or send out records to people, then I pick from the big box. Here from the big room. NASCAR Goes Country, featuring Richard Petty, David Pearson, Bobby Allison, Cale Yarborough, Buddy Baker, and Darrell Waltrip. We went to a antique mall over near Mooresville, North Carolina. And that's where a lot of the race teams have their shops over there, a little north of Charlotte. And I found this album in a Goodwill for $1. And really nice shape. It's got some nice luster to it. Oh, here we go. Aegis, Steely Dan. This one here is the AB1006. This is the one people are looking for. University of Vinyl told me this is the one we want to get. So I got this one, and it's got a little warp in it, but it said that on here. And I got it for like $5, but it played right through. It sounds fine. So my other copy will be going into the other room where I keep all my doubles. How about Bob B? How about Keith Jarrett? Saxophone player, I believe. I got a couple of his albums now. I need to give them a listen. Moving along here. Joe Sample, Rainbow Seeker. I see this album shown a lot, and a lot of times it's the MoFi, but this is not the MoFi. This is a dollar record, and I'll have to give this a listen. And there's some really good artists on here that play along with him. Joe Sample. I don't really know anything about Joe Sample. Amazing Rhythm Aces. This was $1, and this is a promo. They had a couple of hits. I don't know if any of them are on this record, but Amazing Rhythm Aces. Oh, here's the Babe Ruth albums. And these were along with that other one, were the total of $10. These are both OGs, and these records are a little bit pricey. I've never heard of the artist Babe Ruth, but I'm going to give them a listen. John Clemmer, he's somebody else I've been getting. And you find his records in the charity shop all day long for $1. It's also a promo. See, I was telling you, there's a lot of times you'll find the promos in the Goodwills and stuff. Ah, here we go. Here's one of my grails. I got this off of eBay. I paid a little bit for it. It's worth a whole lot more than what I paid for it. This band's called Grobschnitt, and the album is called Rock Pommel's Land. So Stoner and Don need to pick these up. PC these, pick them up. Because they have another album called Merry-Go-Round that you should grab, and there's 2 or 3 of their albums that are really, really good. This one I got off of eBay. This was a grail. Happy to Man, American band. They're from Virginia, and Kit Watkins was the lead keyboard player. Kid Watkins also played with Camel for their one album. And this album's called Better Late. It's the third Happy the Man album that was released, I believe, posthumously after, I guess you can say posthumously. It was after the band broke up. The first two albums in America, and I don't think they went over real well. They're getting harder and harder to find out in the wild. And even in a record store, you don't see them. That's how great they are. They're awesome. Happy the Man is an awesome group, American prog band. And I'm lucky enough, I started back collecting records, and I have 2 copies of each of the first 2 albums. Second album is called Crafty Hands. The first album is just self-titled. This album here, I saw this one, I said, this one looks interesting. It's called Union. But then I looked at the back cover, said, I know any people on here? Well, yeah, Randy Bachman's on here from the Guess Who, and also from BTO later on. I didn't know he was in a third band, and there's other people in here I don't recognize. They might be members from BTO, I don't know. But yeah, Union. This will probably go out as VCLT. Marty Ballin, found him for $1. He was with Jefferson Airplane and then Jefferson Starship, and he has his big hit on here, Hearts. And I don't know if he had 2 hits off this album or not. Usually the first song on the first side is their biggest single. Not all the time, but sometimes. Most of the time. Marty Ballin. How about this? Found this for $1. This came complete with the booklet and the 45. There's the booklet. And then here's the 45 that came with it. And for $1 as a steal, because this is also quite the album. This will probably go out as VCLT. I'm not really into Stevie Wonder. Johnny Rivers, Golden Hits, 12 of the live, Memphis Blues, Seventh Son. You find his records all day long at the Goodwill and stuff. And Johnny Rivers was an awesome artist. Midnight Specials on there. I love my Johnny Rivers. And how about the best of Sam the Sham and the Pharaohs? He looks happy, don't he? Found this for $1. They got the old Wooly Bully on here. #1 song on the first side. Tim Weisberg. He's a flutist. This is the next one. I already gave this a spin. I like Tim Weisberg. Got a few more here. Steve Miller Band. Hope I'll show these together. I found these in a antique mall. They were like $5 for the 2 of them. And I remember someone telling me, if you find the old Steve Miller records, I think it was Mazzy, he said pick them up because they're really good. Children of the Future and Living in the USA. I think he did 3 of them. And if you look real close, you can see Boz Scaggs there. Yeah, that Boz Scaggs. Lido Shuffle Boz Scaggs. He was in the Steve Miller Band in the beginning. The beginning of time. Beginning of time for that band. How about the Byrds? Untitled. Found this one for a good price. This was like $3. This has 1 album that's live cuts and 1 album that is new material. But this was pretty much after everybody had left the band, except for the main man. I'm a Fool, Dino, Desi, and Billy. My second copy of this I found. So I'll definitely be sending these out for VCLT. This belonged to somebody named Sylvia Hawkins. And I believe this was Dean Martin and Desi Arnaz, their son, and Dean Martin's son, Dino, and Billy was just some kid that lived in the neighborhood. So the 3 of them made records. I guess this would have been in the 60s. And it's on Reprise, because that was Frank Sinatra's label, right? Makes sense. How How about the Magic Flute of Herbie Mann? That's on Verve. This will definitely be going out for VCLT. I think I have 2 more Herbie Mann records. And how about the Persian Room presents Diane Carroll? And I had to look up what Diane Carroll. She came up and was on TV. She had her own TV show back in the '60s. I thought she was on a show with Bill Cosby, but I don't think so. She had her own show. She was pretty big into that type of music, the old jazz music, and yeah. If you can find, this will probably go out for VCLT. Somebody who loves Carol, Diane Carroll. So that's all I got to show this week. Man, this is a long show this week. I got my top 12 grails. Run through them real quick, and I'll tell you which ones I've already picked up. Hatfield in the North, Afters. I'm still looking for that. I'm looking for the Rotters Club on vinyl. Hatfield in the North. Marillion, Clutching at Straws. The vinyl copy of that. Nectar, Journey to the Center of the Eye. Looking for that. Mike Oldfield, 5 Miles Out. Banco, it's an Italian progressive band. I'm looking for the album Canto di Primavera. I'm looking for Kate Bush, The Kick Inside, her first album, Canadian press. Camel's first album, Sun Treater. The name of the album is called Zin Zin, and that's got Peter Robinson on there. And Peter Robinson is in Arzachel. How about the Eagles, Desperado? Looking for that album. And Don Henley's first band before he joined the Eagles, he was in a band called Shiloh. And if you see that record in the wild, pick it up, because that record is worth thousands of dollars. And I've never seen the record out in the wild. So I got my Steely Dan Asia AB1006. I got to take that off my list. I got my album Con, Space Shanty. I found that on eBay, and I also found the album called Arzachel with Peter Robinson, who plays on that. So that's all I got for this week, and hope you had a good week, and we'll be talking to you soon. God bless our troops. Everybody stay safe out there, and hope you stayed all the way to the end, as we're coming in at 33 minutes. That's a really long one. This might be my longest show ever, but I found a lot this week, so I wanted to go ahead and wipe the table, bring the records to you, and show everybody what I found, and start with a fresh bin for next week and see what we find next week. So y'all take care. Have a good week next week, and everybody stay safe, and we'll talk to you soon. North Carolina Picker out.